Hi everyone, welcome to the last video in this series from the mushroom page from Small Victories by Johanna Basford using Polychromos pencils. Now we have one mushroom left and yes, it's rather sad. I have really enjoyed this page. Now someone asked me, or a few of you actually asked me to do this page, so I'm so thrilled that you did because I have thoroughly enjoyed it. It's not like I wouldn't have done the page anyway, but it's been lovely fun doing it with all of you. Now we are going to do this very last one in an interesting way, I hope. I am going to start with the bluish turquoise. Now I'm going to ignore these dots for now. I'm going to colour over all of them just in this. Now it's fine because I'm going to go over them with a white pen at the end, so it doesn't matter. However, if you don't have a white pen, you might need to think of something a little bit different to do with them, so just to sort of warn you. You could colour around them and leave them white, leave the paper showing through and maybe just go over them a little bit in a white pencil, but it's a little bit, it's much easier I think to colour over them to get more of an even colour, because I'm trying to, as you can see, fading it towards the centre. That's not that easy, and if you've got to try and go around these little obstacles, it makes it harder. So, I mean, another option is to go over them in a darker colour once we've finished. You'll see what we're doing in a minute. Right, my next colour, whoops, I'm going to drop my next colour, is the light phthalo green. We are going to do it, a lot of it here. And then fade it, well, yeah, blend it into the colour here, like that. Okay, now we're going to work this a little more. I want a darker colour in the very corners. I think I'm actually going to, what's this colour? Use the Prussian blue. It's quite a nice dark one. It's just really right in the corner like that, and here. Then I'm going to grab my, the bluish turquoise again and go over that bit and just extend it a little where we're starting to just bring it into the green, and here too. Oops. Like that. Then I'm going to use the cobalt green just across this part. Could have done this to start with, but I find it helps me if it's marked out a little bit. That sort of makes sense. There we go. Then I'm going to go back to our light phthalo green and put a fair bit on here. But we are leaving a little gap in the middle. Let's put a bit there for some yellow. I'm going to use the cadmium yellow lemon and put that across this central bit. There we go. There is our slightly strange but glowy mushroom. And I'm going to use this same yellow in the window, just while I've got it in my hand, because it'll tie in. Okay, We'll worry about the dots a little bit later. We'll do the rest of it. Now we could do our gills. We've done them all in sort of greys and things like that. We could do them in a dark blue to match the top. It feels a little bit, I don't want to do that. I feel uncomfortable with it, if that makes sense. But I am going to use the cobalt green to do the little rim. I feel okay doing that. I'm going to make it more intense here and just lighter towards the middle. But I just feel like I've never seen the underside of a mushroom looking colourful, but I'm sure they do. But shall I? Shall I? Yes, let's do it. Lightly. I am going to, whoops. It's right, just switching on my tablet in case the children get in touch, but I think they're okay. They're settled in their classes. Sometimes they ask me to send them a file or something like that. Right, now with these, I'm just going to make them a little bit darker where these lines are. I've done this in some of them before. I find it quite an effective way to deal with them. A little bit in there, little teeny bits. Around this central area a little bit. It's not quite dark enough for me under there. I'm gonna use this light phthalo green. Let's have a bit of a play. Just go all over it with this. And then get the yellow that we were using. Cadmium yellow lemon. And maybe around this central bit where that bit up there is glowing. I don't know, it's a bit different, isn't it? Now the stem. Shall we try there? Whoops, I can't get hold of the pencil. Should we try the light cobalt turquoise? Just a little bit down here. So hungry. It's 10:30. Why am I hungry? Maybe I'll go and get a coffee and have a square of chocolate, I think, after this. Hopefully that'll make me less hungry. I think that works. With the base, I'm going to just use some cobalt green on the edges. You can see that. I feel like this bit at the bottom is supposed to be a different colour. I'm wondering if I'm daring enough to do it in the light phthalo green. I'm going to try it. You can look and see if you like it. If you don't, you can do it grey. It's a very odd looking mushroom. I'm going to go a bit darker here where these lines are. There we go. Now I definitely think the door needs to sort of match. So I'm going to grab my Prussian blue and just sharpen it because it's a little bit blunt. And I'm going to do this sort of door frame. It's a nice intense colour, isn't it? And then I'm thinking for the door, I might do something a little bit lighter. Like the cobalt green, so that we can put some sort of wood grain in, because it's a wooden door, we can see that, but we don't want to do it brown, it's going to just look a little strange. So there is my initial layer, and I'm going to grab the bluish turquoise, which is where we started and put a little bit of shadow in under this beam, and then use the sharp end to draw in a few lines as if they're wooden planks. It's quite difficult to see. Now, where are we going now? We have grass. I think a phthalo green would work, but not the light one. We'll just use the normal one, the phthalo. There it is. And do the grass. We're a little bit wonky. There we go. And it is still quite a bright bluish green, which is what I feel we need. I'm trying to do a vertical stripes really hard in such a small space, and it doesn't feel like a natural technique for my hands, if that makes sense. But we want it to look like that. Around our door, I'm just going to go around with the light phthalo green a bit more, because I can see white bits where I haven't quite gone right up to the line. There we go. There. Now those leaves for these plants, whatever they are, I'm going to do again in the phthalo, but we do have the dark phthalo green, so I think I'll use that one just so it looks a little bit different. And I'm thinking I want it more intense down here at the bottom, not only to form more of a contrast with the grass, but also because it's being shadowed by this one. Right, I am back from the phone call. Let's carry on with this. So it's going to be lighter. This tip here will be slightly darker because it's turned down. This is going to be our lightest area. Yeah, it was just someone trying to sell me a solar panel health check or something. So I'm not interested. I just told him I was in the middle of work and I had to go. I wasn't interested. So I got rid of him. Right, now I need to think about what I'm doing with these little berries or flowers. I'm thinking I would quite like a pink, just a contrasting colour, because we've got a lot going on with all our blues and obviously greens with the bit of yellow. I'm thinking fuchsia, going really bright pink. And you may not, I need it sharper, it's such a small space, you may not agree, but I think we just need this sort of splash of something, and I think this is a good colour. I'm going to put it down really quite intensely so that it shows up really well. There we go. Okay, now we need to work on these circles on our roof and on some other white details as well. So I'm just going to fill them in completely in white pen, leaving the black line around the edge, particularly on these ones on the outside, because or else they'll just disappear into the paper. And it might just look like we've got a bite out of the side of our toadstool mushroom, which might happen, but it's not the look I'm going for. And then we've got some dots along the bottom here. I can't see them all, so I'm just guessing a bit. There we go. And I want a tiny dot on these, just to bring a little bit of attention to them. There we go. You could wait for this to dry and then put some colour over the top, but actually looking at them, it's not a very thick coating of white, and it has actually left them, I can see that they're not perfectly white. I can see a bit of the pencil through. Maybe it's just my imagination, I don't know, but I am really happy with seeing that it doesn't look perfectly white, and I'm going to leave them like that. So I think I am done. So that is the last one. So there is our one for today, but I am going to, whoops, my pencils are moving on their own. I'm going to show you the whole page so you can see it all done. You've obviously, well, you may have coloured along or you may not. So if you have, you will see your own page and see what it looks like. Let's pull that into shot. Let's take away these pieces of paper that are behind. There we go. And try and hold it flat. It's always very difficult to hold a page completely flat. It always curves and then things look a little bit odd shape-wise. But I do my best. But particularly this book, because of the tight binding and the small size of the book. One way, when I'm taking a photograph, for example, I sometimes try and hold that up there so that then it flattens the whole page, but you might get a shadow and this bit the camera might focus on this bit rather than this bit. So that is difficult too, but it does make the page lie a little bit flatter. So, but as I say, you can get a shadow. So it all depends. But there is our finished page. Hopefully they all look quite different. These two look quite similar, but they are, one's grey and one's brown, but they do look quite similar. But apart from that, I think they all look fairly different, which is nice. We do have a few red ones, but you know, it's always tempting to do them red. I could have done them all red, you know, but I didn't. But there we go. I really enjoyed that series. Thank you for all of you that joined me all the way through. I really appreciate it. I hope that you either coloured along or got inspired or did some other sort of colouring while watching, if you can. I know not everyone can always colour due to health reasons, time, that sort of thing, but it's always nice if you can do a little bit, you know, just to sort of try and relax and things like that. But hopefully watching me do that helps you too. But thank you again for your attention for this long series. I've already got something planned, not for the next morning series, but for next afternoon videos and series. So I've got lots of ideas whirring away in my head, which is all very exciting. So hopefully I will see you coming along with me soon. I mean, I don't see who's watching. I can't keep a track on you. If you comment, I can. That's always nice, but otherwise I can't. So, you know, but I just hope you'll join me. But thank you very much. Have a really lovely day and happy colouring.